Hi, this is Kathy. Welcome to InkingPaperWithKat.com. Today's project is a shaker box. You can see there's the shaker window with the greeting underneath. Closes back up. This one was done with a fuse tool, but today's is going to be done with acetate so that everybody can do it. If you don't have a fuse tool, no problem. This one is Dapper Denim with Emerald Envy, two of the new in colors from Stampin' Up. But for today's project, we are going to use a different one of the in colors, and it's Sweet Sugar Plum. So for the project, you will need an 8.5 by 9.5 inch piece of cardstock. You'll need another piece of cardstock for the ring. We're going to use Rich Razzleberry today. You'll need a piece of Whisper White for stamping. Stamp pads. Today we're using Rich Razzleberry, and we're also going to be using some Daffodil Delight because we are going to punch a bird for the decoration. Let's get started. Get out your Simply scoreboard, and with the longer side at the top, the 9.5 inch side, we are going to score at 2, 6, 6.5. Turn it, the 8.5 inch side, and we're going to score at 2, 4, 6, and 8. And that's all of your scoring done. That's not quite true. We're going to do some other scoring. Let's do that while we're here. You'll notice that this box has a deep V in it so that it folds over. So we want to put that in. That is going to go in the side panels. This is the back. These two are the sides. So in the largest of the rectangles, so that's this piece down here, we want to score on the 3 inch mark, and you want to go down, and you're just going to have to eyeball it to maybe an inch above the other score line. And on this one, it's going to be on the 7 inch. And you're going to take it down to the same spot. And you are eyeballing it. You could put something across to see if you're even, a longer ruler or something. But we're not going to worry about that today. Alright. We've got one more piece of scoring to do, but we want to do some folding and burnishing first so that we can really see those lines. So take your bone folder, fold and burnish all of your score lines except for that one strange one that's right in the middle. We'll leave that for last. I love this color. Alright. Let's get out a pair of scissors and do some trimming. This is the bottom of your box. This deeper portion is the top. So on the bottom we want to take out this narrow rectangle. We'll angle that in a bit. We're going to cut up each of these score lines. I need to clean my scissors. Okay, let's take a small wedge out of these side pieces with little tabs here. And then on the top section, we are going to remove all of this. We're only going to leave this one little flap on the end. Okay, now let's do our final bit of scoring. Grab a steel rule, and hopefully you can see this. So where this line ends, this is not, the lighting is really bad today for some reason. Where that line ends, you are going to go from there to the corner, and from there to the other corner. And you'll do that on both of those sections that you marked. Okay, now you can gently fold those lines, and since you've already cut, it's easy to get into those diagonals. And they don't have to be hard folds. Alright, now what we need to do is we're going to punch our hole in the top flap, and we need to mark where our circle is going to go. So punch a 1 3/4 inch circle out of some scrap paper. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lay this on to just kind of see where it is we want it to end up sitting. And then we're going to just take a little bit of snail, put it on the back, line it up where you want it to go. Take your 1 3/4 inch circle punch and line it up so you're cut. There you go. And at the same time, while we're here, let's round these corners. I don't know where my Project Life corner rounder is at the moment, so we're just going to use this one. Okay, so you can see how your box is going to go together. So let's put some fast fuse or tear and tape. You could use Tombow on this side piece. We're not going to do the bottom yet because we've got some things we want to do there, and we want to be able to fold this flat. But I want to just fold it up as if it were put together and fold this over. And take a pencil and just very lightly mark where that circle is. You don't need to do the whole thing, just a little bit. Alright. So now we're going to do our stamping, and we're going to put together the shaker portion of this. Let's start with stamping. Let's take our Whisper White, Rich Razzleberry, and the stamp set we are using today is Perfectly Wrapped, and we're using Happy Day. So ink up your stamp. Stamp it. Now we are going to take our 1 3/4 inch punch again. while we have our punch out, let's do the ring. First step in doing the ring is you're going to punch 1 3/4 inch circle. Then we're going to come in with the 2-inch punch, and we're going to line that circle up as best we can so that there is an even piece of the rich razzleberry showing all the way around. And punch. There's your ring. We're going to use Tombow to adhere our ring. We just need a few little dots around. Don't get too much or you're going to have ooze all over the place. So you don't need a lot. And that just goes around on the outside of your flap. I got a little bit of ooze, but it'll dry. All right, let's take some snail. And we are just going to line this up with the marks we made. So I'll show you how that'll look. Box were closed. It's going to be just like that. All right, let's build the shaker part of it. You need 2 pieces of acetate that are 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. I'm going to double check that because it doesn't sound right. 1 7/8 by 2 1/4. The first one is going to get laid on right there. I am using a double-sided tape that is 1/8 of an inch wide. Yeah, it is 1/8 of an inch. You could use Tombow, but for the purposes of this video, I want to get it down and keep moving and not have to let it dry. And just put it around all 4 sides. Okay, let's put the acetate down. Pulling up the tape. Okay. The reason I put the acetate on the Post-it note is so I don't lose it. Somehow it just seems to get away from me. All right, now what we need to do is put some foam pieces down. That's not quite lined up. We'll trim it. Stampin' Up! Has come out with foam strips. I don't happen to have any of them, so I am going to just cut some out of some double-sided foam tape. And you have to cut them fairly narrow because they have to fit on there. That'll be fine on the end, but it wasn't going to work on the side. It was too wide. So let's see if we can cut it a little bit narrower. Now I understand that the foam strips that Stampin' Up! Is coming out with, or has come out with now, the catalog is out, you can actually bend them around, so when you're doing circles, you can go right around the circle. Which is really nice. Okay, now we need another really, really thin piece. This is why my scissors need to be cleaned. If I cut too much sticky stuff with them. All right. Well, it's showing a little bit on the outside, but we're not going to worry about it for right now. Take your little sequins or beads, whatever you're using. I'm using some little mini sequins. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. It's more for just the decoration. Peel your tape off. Be careful when you're peeling it off that you don't bounce it so much that your sequins bounce everywhere. And then let's take the other piece of acetate. A lot of static. And let's put that on. Okay, so there you go. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use some Velcro to hold this closed. When I did the other one, I used magnets, but this is going to a younger child, and I don't want to use magnets with that child because they're too young. There is a swallowing risk, and it creates quite a health problem. All right, let's put the back of our box together. We need to put fast fuse on the front tab. Fold your sides in. Make sure that everything is lined up so it's nice and square. Bring the front tab over. And you might want to take a ruler or bone folder and just go in. Now we will peel off the backing from this Velcro. And glue that down. You do need to reach in and give that a nice shove down so that it's sticking. Alright, let's do our bird. We're going to take our bird punch. We are using a piece of Daffodil Delight, and I want the wing and the bird body. So let me get in there and now I want to take a sponge, Daffodil Delight ink, pick it up, sponge it just to give it the feeling of some dimension. also want to do our wing. Okay, so let's see how we're going to set our bird like that. So our wing is going to go like this. So let's use some dimensionals and pop that wing up. Like our birds in flight, we'll use some more dimensionals on the back. And there you have it. Shaker box. I hope you enjoyed the project, and I'll see you soon.